When trust is broken in the places we deem safest, the repercussions echo for eternity. Today we delve into the chilling world of teachers who turned into killers. We often regard schools as sanctuaries of learning and growth, where we entrust our children's futures to the hands of educators. But what happens when this trust is shattered by the very individuals meant to uphold it? The incidents we're about to discuss are not just shocking, they're heartrending, a stark reminder of the unexpected and brutal betrayals that can occur even in seemingly safe environments. From Florida to Japan, these cases span across continents, revealing an unsettling pattern of violence in what should be havens of education. We're not sharing these stories to instill fear, but to emphasize the importance of vigilance and awareness in a world where the unthinkable can and does happen. Prepare yourself as we count down the 10 most disturbing cases of teachers killing students. At number 10 we have an incident that left a small community in shock. The tranquility of this tight-knit community was shattered when a beloved teacher was revealed to be a cold-blooded killer. It was an ordinary school day that turned into a nightmare. The teacher, once a figure of trust and guidance, had committed an unthinkable act of violence. The details of this case are chilling, a stark reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. The aftermath was profound, the community left reeling, struggling to comprehend how such a tragedy could happen in their midst. The shockwaves of this gruesome crime sent tremors through the educational system, prompting a re-evaluation of safety measures in schools. A teacher, a trusted figure, had become a perpetrator of a heinous crime. The chilling tale of this unexpected betrayal is a grim reminder that sometimes, monsters hide behind the most unsuspecting faces. Number 9 takes us to a classroom where a typical day turned into a nightmare. The morning began as usual, a teacher at the head of the room, students busily scribbling notes. But this facade of normalcy was shattered when the unthinkable happened. For reasons that remain unclear, the teacher, a figure of authority and trust, turned on one of their own students with deadly intent. The motive behind this horrifying act is as baffling as it is chilling. Was it a moment of madness, a deep-seated resentment, or something far more sinister? The answers, like the teacher's sanity, seemed to have vanished into thin air. The aftermath was a school community left in shock, a classroom forever scarred by violence and a life abruptly and tragically taken. In the midst of learning, a life was abruptly and tragically taken. Coming in at number 8 is a case that shocked a nation. It was an ordinary day in a schoolyard where the only concerns should be homework and friendships. But this day was far from ordinary. A teacher, a figure of trust and authority, committed an act so heinous that it sent ripples through the community and beyond. The schoolyard, usually abuzz with the sounds of children's laughter and playful banter, was silenced in an instant. The impact of this tragedy was far-reaching, sparking a nationwide outcry and prompting calls for stricter regulations in schools. Parents were left questioning the safety of their children, and students were left in fear. This incident served as a harsh reminder of the potential dark side of those entrusted with the education and care of young minds. A place of play and laughter was transformed into a scene of unspeakable horror. The 7th most disturbing case involves a place reserved for teachers' rest and relaxation. Imagine the shock when this haven of tranquility was shattered by an unthinkable act of violence. The teacher's lounge, a place usually buzzing with the hum of coffee machines and the chatter of educators, became the backdrop for a ghastly crime. In this chilling instance, a place meant for brief respite turned into a scene of horror. The sanctity of the teacher's lounge was violated in the most brutal manner imaginable. The details of the crime are too gruesome to narrate, but let's just say it was a scene straight out of a horror movie. This horrifying event serves as a stark reminder that danger can lurk in the most unexpected corners, even within the seemingly safe confines of a school. The shock and grief that followed this crime left an indelible mark on the school community. A sanctuary for teachers had become a stage for a gruesome act. At number 6 we find a horrifying lesson that was never part of the curriculum. A typical school day turned into a nightmare when the boundary between an educator and a criminal blurred drastically. This case, chilling in its details, is a stark reminder of how trust can be shattered within the confines of a classroom. The incident unfolded in a way no one could have predicted. The teacher, a person tasked with nurturing young minds, became an agent of terror. The aftermath was marked by shock, grief, and a community grappling to understand the unthinkable. Victims were left traumatized, their innocence stolen in the most brutal way. The school, a place once filled with laughter and learning, was cloaked in a haunting silence. The ripple effect of this incident was far-reaching, affecting not just the direct victims, but everyone connected to them. This case underscores the dark side of education, where the very individuals entrusted with the task of molding future generations turn into perpetrators. Education had turned into a deadly weapon. The fifth most disturbing case is one that no student should ever have to face. This incident, steeped in horror and disbelief, unfolded in a place meant for knowledge and growth. The teacher, a figure of authority and guidance, became an agent of terror, turning an ordinary day into a chilling nightmare. This case not only shook the community to its core but also sent waves of shock and despair across the country. It sparked debates and fueled discussions about safety in schools, the psychological well-being of educators, and the vulnerability of students. The outcry was loud and clear, demanding justice for the innocent lives lost, and calling for stringent measures to prevent such horrifying incidents in the future. This case is a tragic reminder of how a sanctuary of learning can quickly turn into a scene of unimaginable horror. An examination of life was abruptly and tragically cut short. At number 4, we find a detention that turned deadly. A chilling and shocking incident that defies our usual understanding of a school environment. A detention room, typically a place for reflection and discipline, took a sinister turn on this fateful day. It was the 7th case on our list, and it's one that still sends shivers down the spine of many. The teacher in question, a figure of authority and trust, committed an act so heinous it's hard to comprehend. Unforeseen by everyone, this educator turned perpetrator, transforming an ordinary detention room into a crime scene. The gravity of this crime is immense, the impact immeasurable, shaking the very foundations of the educational institution it occurred in. The details of this case are horrific and serve as a stark reminder of the unexpected darkness that can lurk in the most unsuspecting of places. A detention room, once a symbol of order and discipline, was forever marred by this brutal act. A place of discipline had become a stage for a gruesome act. The third most disturbing case involves a special student-teacher relationship that turned deadly. We often hear of the term teacher's pet, a student favored by a teacher. But in this instance, the term takes on a chilling new meaning. A pupil, once the apple of their teacher's eye, found themselves at the center of a tragedy too gruesome to comprehend. This case takes us to a school where a student-teacher bond, usually a source of encouragement and mentorship, mutated into a sinister plot. The teacher, who should have been a beacon of guidance, instead became an agent of terror. The details of the incident are spine-chilling, a stark reminder of the potential darkness lurking in the most unexpected corners of our society. The aftermath was equally unsettling. The school community was left in shock, struggling to reconcile the image of a beloved teacher with the horrific crime they had committed. An investigation followed, culminating in a trial that gripped the nation. A bond of trust was shattered in the most horrifying way. Number 2 takes us to an unprecedented massacre that shook the world. A seemingly normal day at school turned into a bloodbath, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of those who survived. This case is a stark reminder of the dark underbelly that can exist even in places meant for growth and learning. The teacher, someone who was supposed to be a guiding force, became the harbinger of death. The massacre was not just a loss of lives, but a loss of innocence, trust, and safety. The world watched in horror as the details of the gruesome incident unfolded, sending shockwaves across continents. The aftershocks of this incident were felt far and wide, leading to a global outcry for enhanced security measures in educational institutions. This incident was a wake-up call, forcing us to reevaluate our understanding of safety in schools. A place of learning was transformed into a scene of unspeakable horror. And now, the most disturbing case of a teacher killing a student. This case is not just another number on our list. It's a chilling reminder of the depths humanity can sink to. In this instance, the teacher-student relationship, a bond built on trust and respect, was shattered beyond repair. It wasn't a crime of passion or a momentary lapse in judgment. It was cold, calculated, and cruel, setting it apart from the others we've discussed. The teacher, someone students should look up to as a mentor, became an agent of terror, a harbinger of their worst nightmares. The student, on the other hand, was robbed of their innocence and their life in the most horrific manner conceivable. This case, in its sheer brutality and heartlessness, stands as the most disturbing instance of a teacher taking the life of a student. The impact of this crime was felt not just by the victim's family and friends, but it sent shockwaves through the entire educational community. It served as a harsh wake-up call, A grim reminder that sometimes evil can lurk where we least expect it. A horrifying tale of trust, broken in the most tragic way possible. These chilling cases remind us of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. We've journeyed through the shadowy corridors of educational settings where the unthinkable has occurred. As we reflect on these disturbing cases, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance and awareness in preserving safety and combating violence. These stories serve as stark reminders that danger can arise in the most familiar and seemingly safe environments. They underscore the need for us to stay informed, to question, and to be observant of the world around us. In the hallowed halls of academia, where we send our children to learn and grow, let's ensure that safety, respect, and care are always paramount. Let's continue asking the hard questions, demanding transparency, and maintaining our vigilance. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay safe. Please subscribe to Unbelievable Top 10 for more chilling countdowns.